Welcome, everybody, to tonight's show. Clarissa here. Welcome back to Unveil Paranormal. I really am looking forward to tonight's show. I do have to always plug this in real quick, guys. Perry Undi's coming up October 22nd, 2022. I've been saying it for about 6 months now. Contact Shadow Seekers if you'd like to get a booth and come join us. It's only $25 per table, $5 extra. It is free to the public just to come and visit us. Let's see here. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Mort. So I have a very cool guest tonight. Y'all probably already know her because she does help host some other shows here on Things Network. So without further ado, let's welcome Adrienne.
Hey, guys. I'm trying to share here, too, and I'm way behind.
Share? That's okay. If you don't share, Jeremy will. He's already on here.
Yes. Awesome about it.
So I had mentioned that you host a couple shows. Could you remind me which shows you host on Things Network?
Do I remember which shows I host?
No, can you remind me?
No, I do. I have to remember first. No, I'm on the Supernatural Talk with Jeremy, which, due to our wedding, I have not been on for a couple of weeks, and my midlife crisis a week before that. So yeah. And we also do Getting Cozy with Adrienne and Jan, and it's not a paranormal show. Well, it turns paranormal sometimes, but
Yeah.
It is not a paranormal show. It is more life and how to deal with it.
Okay.
So we just have fun with it, pretty much.
That's good.
Jan's my best friend, and there's not a day that we don't go, bitch, what are you thinking? We just let the audience, they can hang out with us and listen to it too.
Right. So you're just down to the two now, because at one point in time, it seemed like you were just about on every show.
That had to end. Yes, it did.
For sure. So anyways, most of you may already know Adrienne, like we said, but I would like Adrienne to kind of share a little bit about her background and, paranormal related, because this is a paranormal show. So if you just want to tell us a little bit about your paranormal background experience, how you got here.
Without naming names, I actually joined a group in Carlsbad, New Mexico, who had been a group for a while. That was my first group or paranormal anything. It took me about 3 months before I realized, you know what? This is not, no. They were a little like some shows we know that would call everything out. They weren't nice. It wasn't good. So then somebody that I used to work with had a team, and they're like, just come on with us. And that person taught me a lot. They did. Whether it was teaching me people, showing, don't do this. This is not what you want to do. Or, here's what we do. I learned a lot. From there, I started my own team in Carlsbad. I moved from there, and now I'm part of Things, and we branched off into Colorado. Jeremy was nice enough to say, yeah, I think I trust you enough to take the name.
Yeah. He's very possessive of his name.
I do not blame him.
Yeah.
But we still collaborate, on every case. We have a huge, you're part of it. We have a huge network that, hey, what do you think about this? What's going on here? What do you think? That's
right.
One person doesn't know it all.
Right. Absolutely.
We all have our niche. I'm learning a little bit of everything. I'll find my niche at some point. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I could take time. Now you said in the bio that you've only been investigating for 4 years. So prior to 4 years ago, were you doing anything at all paranormal, having any experiences, anything like that?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Absolutely nothing. So getting in the field opened it up to you.
Yeah. I actually went to my first location in Ballinger, Texas.
Okay.
The Old Park Hotel. That was my first.
Okay, gotcha.
And we had a little man there that I had like a newbie, I was like, okay, who's there? Who's reported to be there? And I'm reading, and I got locked on one person. I knew his wife's name, his horse's name, his kids' names, the last words he said when he died, where he died.
Wow.
And I called him out. Well, apparently in that time that I decided to do this, there was a connection there that he thought, oh, So when I got there, there was a lot of interaction with him.
Okay.
Later, he followed me home.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We had this little piece of wood, and it had a spur, like one of those Texas Star spurs, a can opener or a bottle opener, and something else, a little cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Our bed for 2 years, 3 years, decided to fly off that bed. And hit my husband at the time in his ear and through his head. We had, yeah. The night I heard him whistle at my house, I knew. And then when that happened, I was like, okay, it's time to get rid of him. We're good. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how were you able to get rid of him? Did you try to get rid of him, or did you just have somebody outside of the household get rid of him?
No, I just told him, you've got to go. You have to, this is not acceptable. You got to go. I didn't know if it'd work or not, but
you never know.
So, yeah.
Sometimes it's as easy as the homeowner recognizing they're there and letting them know that they're not welcome there, because sometimes homeowners get scared and then they think that they have to reach out to somebody else. But honestly, a lot of the times, if the entity is linked to you in some way, shape, or form, you really need to be the person to ask them to leave. So
yeah, I'm the one that got him there, I think. So I had to fix it.
So what part of your first investigation made you want to keep coming back to keep doing this? Because we see a lot of people come in and out of the field, and we see people do one investigation, one and done, they're done. But then we also see people who do one and then another, and then they just never go away. Like, they just love it, and they're instantly. So what is it about that first investigation that made you like, I got to keep doing this?
I think if I would have even caught anything that first time, I would have kept doing it till I did.
Okay.
That first one, though, we didn't see anything at all.
Yeah.
Somebody had the spirit box going, which drives me crazy because you can't hear over it. And it was so loud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but we had the camera. Thank goodness he had the camera rolling. And I'm like, do you hear that whistle? There's like a whistle behind me. And he said, no. Okay. And then I was still talking to that same person. And I said, no, it's on the right side of me. You had to have heard that. And he said, no, didn't hear it. What? Okay. I heard it 3 times. We played back the video. It was actually 7 times. And
wow.
Video. And it was just like a cowboy calling his horse.
Yeah.
So it ended up being Killing Jim Miller is who I was.
Okay.
I connected with him real good.
Okay. So do you think, so when you connected with him, did you know psychically who he was and all that information, or did you just happen to do your research prior to?
I
so
did
that you did the research? Okay. So it's kind of give you an idea of maybe who you might be approached by and all that. So, okay. To really build that rapport, because you already know them so well.
Yeah.
You build it too much, he went home with you.
Probably shouldn't do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now when I go in, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
Don't tell me nothing. If I get names, whoever actually did the research on it, which happens to be my fiance that does it now.
Yeah. That's nice to have somebody else do that for you. Then you can go in blind still.
Yeah. He won't tell me anything.
Good.
And names, he's like, here's the paper. But he still has yet to experience anything like huge. We went to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we've been together a year now. And he went to the temple. And he was like, we went upstairs. And that's when Mustafa was there, Jeremy. There's a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And we were upstairs with Eileen Jones was up there at the time. And he walked over away from everybody and was looking at the gavel and the Bible and kind of looking out the window. And he felt a footstep beside him.
Wow.
Cement floor, you can't do that. You can't feel
Right,
that.
right, yeah.
I mean, there
Okay.
was carpet, but it's cement under it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was, yeah, it was my imagination. We get back to the motel room, somebody's screaming his name. And he said, "Did you hear that?" No, it's not
Oh, wow.
apparently, so I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that followed him to the motel room.
Oh, my gosh.
I might have been dreaming. So he goes with me everywhere. Now he needs a big apparition in front of him to scare
He
me.
needs to experience that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see. When somebody is, do you consider him a skeptic or what do you think? He's just more logical?
He is a skeptic, but he knows that it can happen.
Yeah.
It's just never happened to him.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
he believes everything, which is good. I need that.
The longer he's in the field, the more likely is it to have that experience. So
Yeah, and come Saturday, we're going to have a lot of us here that are from the paranormal field. So
that's exciting.
3 of us are mediums. So
oh, energy, yes.
decided, and they're bringing their significant other that hasn't seen us 3 together. So this might be a little scary for them. But I said, let's not do this till after we said our vows. That way he doesn't know what he's marrying. But there was actually an old book built, let's see, it was written in 1890 something, I think. I don't remember what she said, but it's about mediums.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but the way they proved themselves, they would sit around a round table and levitate the table.
Ooh, I want to try.
So we are going to try that.
That is cool.
After. That way he's done hitched, he's done. He can't back
out. Locked in.
The other men can walk away, but he can't.
Gotcha.
The others aren't married. They're okay.
That is very cool to actually take some of that old practice and put it in play nowadays, I love that. That's awesome. I think that's where the real magic's at, is in the old ways. So
it is, because they had no research to look at. It was passed down.
Yeah.
Somebody absolutely had something.
Right. Yes. It was passed down. It wasn't like you go on Amazon, purchase a book. This is how you become a medium. Get some sage and salt. You got magic in your hands.
Right. And I did the same thing. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody could become a medium.
Yeah.
They can. If they want to.
Yep.
If they want to put the energy and time into it.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. Everybody has a degree of sensitivities and abilities, and the majority of people just don't use it. They don't, it's a part of us that they have to tune into.
Yeah.
That most people just don't. They let their mind just stay here in the reality, the real, what they can tangibly touch and see and feel. So they miss out on that.
It's scary. That's when they actually get something. It's like, oh, wait, I didn't expect that. Or, some of us, obviously some of us can hear, some of us can see, and others, it's in your mind.
Right.
It's like telepathic. I don't hear, I don't see. It's things that pop into my mind that, like, where the heck did that word come from?
Yeah.
And that's the way I do it.
For sure.
Pictures. That's what I do.
Yeah. Let me go shut this door real quick because my dog's barking. Hold on. Jazzy, shush.
Poor baby. He wants attention.
I know. He's just, my dogs. Last week when I tried to do the show, they drug out a blanket and started playing tug of war over here by me. I'm like, stop, dogs.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. They have their moments, but they're great.
We've got, we actually moved into a house. Last night was our first night staying here.
Okay.
I guess most people already know. I'm getting married Saturday. So,
Yay! Congratulations.
yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah, because there's nothing planned. Nothing. His son is coming in from Japan, and he's going to actually officiate the wedding. And we told him, you have full reign. Do what you want. I don't care. It's not about some ceremony and repeating after somebody. It's not what it's about.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. No. So we're actually going to do our own vows, which
cool.
I didn't realize we were doing this until this week.
Oh. Better get busy on that.
Yeah. So he's had his done for months, apparently. And I didn't realize this. So, yeah, I have this week to take care of that. And his son promised that as soon as he's done officiating, he's going to do a striptease, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
wait, who is this again?
If he's threatening or if he's really going to do it, but whatever, let's do this. I don't care. I
mean, you're a married woman at that point, right? Like, it's all good.
They can all have fun. They can do what they want. I don't care. It's all about everybody getting together and having fun.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's going to be live, actually, on my page for a while. And whatever happens. There's going to be a disclaimer. I don't know what to say. Probably the next morning I'll be deleting a lot of it, but you know.
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean, Jeremy? You got 8 days to figure out how to say I do and I love you. Is Jeremy supposed to get married?
Oh, I know. Oh. Yeah, I was texting him going, oh my God. I just remembered, like, yesterday, I don't have the cake ordered. I don't have a dress yet, which I was going to wear shorts. It's going to be 100 degrees outside. We're getting married in the family home.
Yeah.
This house was built in 1908. There's been lots of weddings in this house.
Yeah.
Outside this house. And
that's exciting.
You know, it's just a tradition that we're doing.
I think that's great.
Oh, yeah.
If we were the same size, I could ship you my wedding dress that I never got to wear 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think, actually, Jan she was sending pictures, and there's one that was just, it's a sundress. And it's like got the leg here. It's green.
Yeah.
But it was really long. Fine. Let's do it. I don't care. It's not about what I'm wearing. I've been there. No.
Right.
It's going to be fun. And the ceremony itself probably lasts 20 minutes. The rest of it is going to be everybody just having fun.
It's just going to be a party. And that's what, like, I love that. Like, it's really, I'm not a traditional person myself either. So I think that's awesome. Just get everybody together, have fun, you know, have a good time. That's awesome.
We're going to have karaoke and God help the neighbors. I don't know what to tell them.
Are the neighbors very close by, or it's not like in the country, it's in a town? Yeah.
It's like the fence separates the neighbors and it's a chain link.
Okay. Oh, is it going to be broadcast on Things Network?
Not on, unless Jeremy broadcasts it on there, it's going to be on my page, and then he can just take it and share it if he wants to, if nobody's
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's next Saturday, right?
Yep. 1:00 Mountain Time.
Okay.
We're going to have a few people here that are actually from the network.
Nice.
We'll be here, so.
Maybe they'll pop in, say hello.
Oh, we're going to, oh, yeah. Well, they don't have much choice. They're going to be. I got aunts coming in from Kansas that I haven't seen in years.
Wow.
Other than that, it's just really friends.
Well, Jeremy makes it a point to point out when exactly it is.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
Next Saturday, I will be probably traveling, honestly, to Central Time, because there's there's the Paranormal Giving Tree next weekend. So
Right.
I will be participating in that. So,
and that's why Jeremy couldn't make it here. But I was lucky enough to have him here, a couple months ago.
Yes, you did get to meet and visit and have fun. So that was very cool. I'm glad you guys got to get together.
We had some. I didn't think we were going to find the grave we were looking for, but we did, and it was kind of crazy.
Do you want to share that story? What grave?
We were actually looking for. Zach done the history, and he's like, the lady that Ouija board is named after lives. Her grave's in Denver, and I was like, no.
Oh, okay.
And he said, yeah. We Googled it, we looked, we researched. You can't find where it's at except that cemetery. Well, this cemetery is huge.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's getting dark, and we're going up and down the roads going, you know what? We're never going to find this. And Zach stops, and he looks over. There was some military thing that caught his eye, and I look over the other direction. There it is. And I open the door, and I'm out. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because we knew what it looked like. It had the sun on it, had the Ouija board on it. It was really cool.
Really? Okay.
And the story behind it is that her brother-in-law actually made it.
Oh. Okay.
And she was a medium, a very good medium from what I understand.
Interesting.
And the Ouija board named itself.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's not a name. It is not anything. It named itself.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never done the research on that. I did not know that. So was it like a session they did with her and it just did OUIJA?
Yep.
Okay. That is cool. I did not know that.
When they went to patent it, whatever company they were doing it with, they said, you know what? You got to prove this to me.
Oh.
And they were like, okay, we'll prove it. How do you want us to prove it? And they said, okay, well, this is our, senior director, whatever he was. If it can come up with his name, we'll buy it.
Wow.
It came up with his name. I don't know if it was his first name, last name, whatever happened. But
that is cool. I wonder what the spirit was, the lady that passed away that did that or what?
Yes.
Okay. She's the one who came with the name and interacted. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We didn't either. When we did some research, it was like some name from India and then some name from some other country that meant something, and it wasn't. None of that.
Really?
And then we took a haunted tour where there was this road in Brighton. It's called the Haunted Road in Colorado.
Okay.
We just went. Zach wouldn't tell us what was supposed to happen on this road. He would just stop at places and say, what do you get?
Oh.
Well, one of the places we stopped at, we took off him and his dad. His dad is like late 70s. And he investigates with us. He's amazing. He's just so funny.
That's cool.
He took a college class in paranormal. And back then,
oh, yeah,
it was like meditation, things like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, yes, let's do this. And he had his little app. And we're like, we didn't say nothing.
Right.
Let him have his app. And he went with Zach one direction, and Jeremy and I went another direction. We're going to meet back. Both of us went to this tree. What on earth? They didn't tell us anything about what was there. Well, when we come back and actually got the research, the story that was told was not even true.
Yeah.
Fire that was there, that people were killed. There was a fire. Nobody was killed. But it was the farmhouse, and that tree where we were at, I think, was where the original house was.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what that meant, what was going on, but it was a neat place. And then we went down the road. There's supposed to be phantom car.
Okay.
And this phantom car is supposed to try to race you, and people have raced to their deaths on this highway. It isn't much of a highway. It's a 2-lane road.
No highway, 2-lane.
There was a murder. There was a young girl. I don't remember, she was 12, 14, not old enough to drive, but she was driving because her mother was drunk.
Oh.
And I don't know if she had been drinking also, but she had an accident and killed them all.
Oh my gosh.
So they're supposed to see her.
Okay.
Then there's a hitchhiker that's supposed to try to hitch a ride with you. We did not see any of that, but
Yeah.
and then there's a cemetery we didn't get out and go look, but there's a witch buried there.
Oh, okay.
There's this one grave, and we don't know who it is or why. This person will go out and put flowers on it, and people see it happen, and then that
Really?
disappears, like gone, and
Wow.
the flowers are still there.
The flowers are still there, but that person disappears. That's interesting.
We don't know, is it her husband? It's a man's grave, but nobody knows.
Oh my gosh, those are really cool stories. I could imagine Colorado having lots of interesting stories, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not one of the oldest states, but it is definitely an old area. So
The lady who named the Ouija board. Okay, yeah.
yeah, Jeremy was talking about who you were talking about.
Yeah, I can't even remember her name now. It was the Ouija board is what we were looking for. I didn't care about the name.
I wonder if Ouija means anything in other languages,
I think it does.
perhaps. I mean, even if she was an American or something like that, maybe she just had knowledge outside of here, especially she's a medium. I mean, maybe that word came to her.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So, have you had any moments in all your explorations where you just like you've gone to a location you'll never go back, or anything scary ever happened to you?
No, that's when I'll go back.
That's when you'll go back.
Yeah.
You sound like me.
Salina Temple is one of the. It's not scary.
Mm-hmm.
It is active and interesting, and you want to find out why.
Gotcha. Do you know if that's actually open to the public, or did you guys just happen to get to go there for that event?
We know the people that actually run the place.
Okay.
They're very open and willing to do tours, do investigations. If there's a team that wants to run an investigation for the night, they will do it.
Okay. That's good to know, just in case I ever go to Kansas.
You got to be prepared when you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I've gone to a lot of places I wasn't prepared to go.
This one, Masons don't. That was their lodge. That was a man's lodge. They didn't care for women being there or running the place.
Yeah.
The women that were there to serve them however they felt they needed served.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, there's places upstairs that women probably shouldn't go. Of course, that's the place I went.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I would be like insubordinate, like, nope, I'm going.
Yeah. And Jeremy got to feel the temple in its glory. I didn't get to be there with him, but yeah. I've investigated that temple 4 times.
Wow, okay. So you've been there several times.
Yeah. Every time it's something.
So I know you said in your bio, you talked about mediumship, and that also has come to you in the past couple of years, correct? Like you weren't doing that prior to 4 years ago?
No, not at all.
So I am curious when it comes to mediumship, and I think we discussed this right before the show. We talked about maybe we did talk about it when the show started, about how anybody can get into it. So what kind of gifts, I guess we'll call them gifts or abilities that do you have when it comes to mediumship? Like what are you more in tune with? What's easiest for you to do readings and stuff?
You pretty much have to work at it. I mean, you can do probably any of it, but you have to work at it. Mm-hmm. What comes to me usually is pictures.
Okay.
I can read a picture and just get things off of it. Usually I do that with somebody's, either friend, family member, something, and it's like words that pop into your head that you know aren't yours.
Right.
And most of the time you question yourself and go, why would I say that? Where'd that come from? I've learned to say it. Of course, you're not right 100% of the time.
Right.
But when, 90% of the time, somebody goes, what? How would you know that? So, like one of my friends I was working with, her uncle committed suicide. And she was like, can you connect with my uncle? I'm like, I don't know. And she said, just try. Here's this picture. Try. And I looked at it and went to waiting on a customer. I turned to her and I said, who the hell is Lupita? I don't speak Spanish like that.
Yeah.
And she said, that's my sister. I said, that's not your sister's name. She goes, yes, it is. That's her real name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, she's pregnant. And she says, no. Okay, well, that's what he says. Turns out she was.
Oh, wow.
And this man ended up, I finally told her, I said, look, we're going to have to disconnect because he's following me to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
We're still having a conversation. This has got to stop. Like, no. But yeah, I mean, you have to learn boundaries. You got to learn to shut it off. And I still have to learn to shut it off.
Yeah.
Go until they're done.
So typically they stick around until they're done. Like, do you probably have to ask them to leave on several. No, you just let it ride and let it just happen. Okay. It's never gotten gritty enough to where you were like, no. Gotcha.
Yeah. I just let him go.
Well, that's, Spirit is going to be very attracted to that because they're going to want to go to somebody who's going to listen. They're going to want to somebody who's not going to be scared of what they have to say. Because sometimes a conversation goes really, really bad and really, really south that you get, it's uncomfortable for you. It's uncomfortable for whoever you're reading for. But I think that's great. Spirit's going to appreciate that.
Usually I don't read. One of my friends, a little while back, had a friend commit suicide.
Okay.
And I was shown the obituary. I didn't know this person. I had no clue. Different state, different world. And I said, what does peanuts mean? Because that's what and they understood. What on earth? But it was something that was actually understood by someone. And I was like,
right.
All right, as long as you understand.
Right.
And she said, that tells me who's here.
Okay.
I said, whatever works. But, it had just happened. So you really have to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Say something like that. So, but this person also reads, so they knew.
Right. Well, and I know, you had mentioned earlier, talked about, not only being 99% accurate, but I love that you say everything that you're being told, because I've learned that it took me a couple years to learn that myself, that I just need to say and the thing is, I tell whoever I'm reading for straight up out, if I say something that doesn't make sense, write it down and wait. Because it may make sense in the future. What may happen is it could be something that is being not quite clear, information that's not quite clear. It could be something for you to know in the future. So just, that's something that I tell them. I was like, if it doesn't make sense today, write it down. Because I believe strongly in my own gifts. So I'm not going to discredit anything that I said. I mean, nobody's right all the time, but just write it down just in case. Okay. That's what I always tell them. But I do think that's great that you just go ahead and say it. Do you tend to?
I don't do that for anyone else. It's just friends that would get it. I did it on a show one time on our show.
Okay.
Never again.
Never again.
A lot more grounded because whoever was coming through.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't even hold it together. I was like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. This got to stop. whatever it is, got to stop.
Okay.
And it was actually a guy that watches our show really often.
Yeah.
And he actually watches all of our shows. And he was like, I don't know what that meant. I said, "That's
Yeah.
okay." And I said, it may have been something else coming through. I don't know.
Right.
There was an audience there. I'm like, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
here's what was said, because I
Right.
messaged him personally.
Yeah.
And whether he knows it now or not, I'm not sure. Maybe whatever it was came true. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
nope, we're done with that online stuff. Mm-mm.
You're done reading for people online?
No.
It's very intense to do.
Yeah.
It's very intense. It's hard to do, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I started, but that's because that's the only choice I had, was to start there. I didn't have friends and stuff in the paranormal until I got in the paranormal.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you learn quickly, it's like, oh, maybe those people aren't quite as good as I thought they were. And then you choose your friends and choose your circle.
Right. Absolutely. Very much so. You have to. Hey, Sky. Welcome, everybody. By the way, I mean, we only have like 20 minutes because my show's on an hour, but if anybody does have questions for Adrienne, I'm sure she's more than happy to answer some of them in regards to her paranormal
Just know
background.
I have no filter if you ask.
You have no filter, is that what you said?
Yep.
I love it. That's one thing I really enjoy about you, Adrienne, is your energy. And I really just, there's something about your energy that's just really welcoming and comforting. And I don't know if you get that a lot from all your friends that are, mediums and psychics. They come around you, they feel the same way, but I definitely feel that way.
Sometimes, till I have to tell them, hey, stop it.
Right.
Then they're like, wait.
I'm not somebody usually people have to tell to stop, so I'm well behaved.
Asker beware. He knows. He knows.
Yeah. So, what's kind of on your plans now? I know you got a wedding coming up, but like paranormal wise, like, do you have anywhere you're planning on investigating anytime the rest of this year, or are you just kind of playing it by day?
We want to go to like one event a year.
Okay.
Not so much an event. I do want to go to an event, but also an investigation where it's just
Okay.
the two of us. We actually have Jeremy got to go to Estes Park and the hotel down there. I won't go.
No. Okay.
It's too overrated. It's too overdone. Just
Okay.
Stephen King wrote a book that I don't care.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure, it's old. I'm sure there's spirits there. I'm sure there's things that happen there. I'm sure there's energy there. They have so publicized this that it's not even worth going anymore because they ruin it for you.
Really?
So I'm, they want you to investigate there, but they want to do like a tour.
Mm-hmm.
And which is great. Learn the history. That's wonderful.
Right.
But if you don't hear anything, feel anything, see it, they're like, oh, then you're no good. You don't.
Okay.
Live an hour from it, still never been there. Just no. But Jeremy liked it though. There we go.
Jeremy says he agrees it's overdone.
It's such a beautiful piece. Yes, it is. And someday I'll go when I got lots of money to spend in Estes Park because everything's expensive and I want to do everything there. So we'll go. It's cold.
Yeah. Ugh. I ain't about that cold.
Me either.
I imagine because you're not from Colorado.
Mm-hmm. It was 100 here today.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that nice? Or does it get humid there? Does it get
Very humid.
Midwest? It gets humid. So.
Yep. every evening it rains a little bit.
Really? Okay.
In the summer, anyway. I don't know what it does in the winter because it's my first real winter here.
Yeah. Oh, good. Hopefully, are you high up in the mountain or no?
No, we're an hour from Denver.
Actually, when I was on your page earlier, I saw where you were located. I just watched a YouTube true crime show in that same exact town. It was located in that town. I think it was in the early 2000s though.
I'm not
So
surprised.
You're not surprised. It's not good.
It's really nice. I have not heard a lot of bad things happen.
Yeah.
Now we have a hotel that's known to be haunted, which I haven't go see yet. There is I think we showed Jeremy, if I remember right. There's a mortuary that has shut down. They're boarded up. We're going to try to get in it because they moved locations.
Okay.
So we're going to see if we can get in that. I got to get ready for my show. No, you can't have a show, Jeremy.
Lame, Jeremy.
Adrienne, come to Canada for
a miserable winter.
I've actually been to Canada. No, that's cold. That's nasty. And the falls there. What time of year? It's cold.
Yeah. I would not go to Canada. I mean, I'd go to Canada, but not to live there.
Oh, looks like Mort was from Canada. I didn't know that. Oh.
Really, Mort?
I had no idea. He's been on my page for a long time. I've followed him for a long time. I had no idea.
You know, I follow so many people follow these shows, and I think it's great when they share where they're from because half the time I have no idea. Like, no idea.
A lot of times, unless they talk on the show, we don't even know. You know, they don't talk on our page or talk to us personally. They talk on the shows, and we learn a lot about them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate the interaction and all that everybody gives on these shows. We get to make a lot of friends this way. So
Joanne is on a lot of shows. She's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen Joanne pop up a couple times.
Grew up in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Oh,
apparently she knows a lot of names.
Katie Turner? Huh? What?
I feel like I know that name, but I don't know.
I do know that name. I'm just wondering, huh? Is it something I'm not seeing?
I don't
know.
So, being a part of Things of Colorado, you get to do a lot of investigations. Like, you've done some residentials and stuff under Things, correct?
I have.
Have you been busy with those, or has it slowed down? Or because I know there for a while, it seems like everybody was busy with residentials.
We were, but our main one was more of a self-manifestation.
Yeah.
Depression, bipolar, drugs, and they wanted it to be somebody who passed, and it wasn't.
No,
it just wasn't.
That's too bad. You know, we find that a lot with residentials, especially with drug activity, mental health issues. We're not saying that it's a bad thing. Like, just get the help you need, really, and don't consider everything you experience paranormal. Now, I mean, because even if you have schizophrenia, for example, you're going to have all those hallucinations. You know, you're going to hear voices. You're gonna experience things that absolutely are going to seem paranormal, and they're not. It's just untreated mental health, and so I think that's great that you guys carry that on there in Colorado to double check and make sure that those aren't the situations. And
if they won't give us medical records, or not so much records, history.
Right.
And when they let us know, you know, hey, I'm bipolar, or hey, I'm schizophrenic. Okay. let me see your medication. And when you
Right.
see that bottle and it was last filled in 2019,
Mm-hmm. Right.
okay, there might be, okay, you need to go back, get this filled, get checked
Mm-hmm.
again. Let's see what's going on. If they
Right.
won't do that, I won't go back.
Right.
You get this checked first medically, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Now, schizophrenia, that's kind of it's kind of a hard thing to determine. Are they really seeing, or is the veil that thin where they're seeing that other side and it's
Mm-hmm.
bad?
Right.
Or is their mind really going somewhere else and they need medicine? That's a hard thing to try to determine, and a psychologist can't determine that. They don't know. To them, paranormal is not. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and that's where I've bumped into a lot of issues with
Yeah.
my education in the paranormal. I've found myself questioning more things than I used to.
Yeah.
Because science is, I mean, we use science in the field, but when you use mental health science in the field, it makes things a lot more complex.
Yeah. There's a lady right now, which she's very controversial and
Yeah.
whatever. What she's done in her past is none of my business.
Yeah.
What she's doing now is she's a scientist. She's also a mortician
Okay.
and has been for years.
Okay.
They built, I don't know if it was her and someone, I don't know who the other someone was, a machine that reads, it can actually do medium work.
Oh.
And it can validate if a medium is really a medium. And they're
Really?
on it right now. And they've got people that claim to be mediums doing this. And they're doing it in a college setting under science. It is scientific completely.
So how do you prove if someone's a medium?
I don't know
Science.
exactly how they're doing this.
Yeah.
It's a machine they've been working on for at least 20 years.
Really? Okay.
And this same person, I'll never forget her story. We asked her, so as a mortician, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah.
And she's like, there's a lot, but I guess it was, I had to pick up a baby. And I think the baby was like a year.
Yeah.
And after an autopsy, complete autopsy.
Yeah.
And she picked the baby up, took it to get it cremated, embalmed, whatever was going to happen.
Huh?
She was crying, started crying.
Oh my god.
Had been dead for over 5 days, crying.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, you're sure? She said, yeah, I'm sure that's what it was doing.
Like she could hear it, she could see it, she could everything.
Yep. Yep. And I know, like a lot of military people will tell you when they're taking soldiers back home, you hit that altitude, they moan because everything comes out of their body in that altitude.
Okay, yeah.
It's normal. But a baby crying after not, no.
That's crazy.
And that has to be something that would haunt you the rest of your life. A child.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. I'm good.
So, but the baby was still deceased, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like the baby came back to life.
Nope. Nope.
That would be wild.
She didn't say how long it lasted, anything like that, but no. Nope.
Oh
I
my
couldn't have
gosh.
the baby after that. There's no way. I couldn't do it. I would. Yeah. I'm sorry. Not my job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been I've thought about getting into that type of work, working in funerals and stuff like that, but I just, as a sensitive person, there's gonna be dead people walking everywhere. Like I've been to funerals of family members where I've seen the deceased standing and watching their own funeral happen.
Do you remember that show? Of course, you're a lot younger, but there was a show. It was Ghost Whisperer, maybe? I don't remember. But she wrote a book. The Real Lady.
The Real Lady, yep.
And she saw her first deceased person as a child. and didn't know it was deceased. She was speaking to this person.
Okay, yeah.
And when she wrote this book, she was way older.
Yeah.
And she said, every deceased person is standing behind their coffin watching their funeral.
Oh, really?
And then the light comes. After the funeral, after their burial, the light comes, they have to go. If they don't go, they're here. And then they have to find another light, whether it's another funeral, whether it's a medium create for them,
Okay.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's Ghost Whisperer.
But that was just like, the book was unreal for the real person. And that real person went to Hollywood to the set.
Yeah.
She said, oh my gosh. And the lady doing it, she was like, her name was Andrea something, I think. And she was like, what? She said, they think you can do this, and they're here. They're like everywhere here around you. And it freaked her out.
Oh my gosh.
And that, I kind of find that a little hard to believe, because once you pass, you have knowledge. You know that person is acting. You know that person cannot do this.
Right.
I mean, you have knowledge you didn't have when you were here.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I'm not buying that. But were they around there? Maybe.
Right.
But did they think she could do it? No. No.
Like they know who they can go to. I'm sure mediums or people who are in tune probably look a little different than people who are not paying attention. We like they use the example of we are lights, you know, and then maybe that's what it's like for them. It's a glow, you know, something that sticks out to make them know that, hey, that's a person I can go talk to, to pass on a message. So
what I didn't know was my daughter was that way. And I think both my daughters are, but
yeah,
my older one, she's 30, and she texted me one day. She goes, Mom, I'm here giving plasma. I'm like, okay. She said, okay, I really need to ask you. She said, there's this woman that is behind me. I didn't know she was there. There was nobody around. All of a sudden, she's there. I was like, okay. She said, I felt her energy. I said, what? She said, okay, I feel people like either a refrigerator hum all the way up to a zap. I was like,
oh, okay.
What? So I asked my friend that's actually a medium. She goes, yeah, that's the way I feel them too. I'm like, okay. And she said, I looked at her and kind of awkwardly got away from her because she said, I thought I was in her way.
Yeah.
And she said, when I looked at her, she was just empty. Like something was wrong. She was empty.
Oh.
I said, do you mean in a bad way, like she's evil? Or do you mean like she's just not in a good place? She said, I think she's just not in a good place.
No.
I said, well, you know, you could have turned around and said, you know, hi, how are you? You might have changed your day. You know, you don't know. And she said, now you tell me this. She's already gone. Now I feel bad.
Oh.
I said, well, can you tell the difference between a refrigerator hum and that zap? Is one, you know, worse than the other? Are they mean? Are they, you know, she goes, I don't know. She said, I think just one's stronger than the other. I don't think that there's mean or good or.
Yeah.
I think they're just stronger in energy trying to get, you know, like. So you're way more advanced than I am in that stuff. And I don't know what to tell you there, but.
Yeah.
Be nice to everybody. You know, if you feel that emptiness, say something. At least hi, smile, how are you? You know, it could mean something.
Right. Yeah, you got to treat them like they're people, like they're living.
Oh, no, this one was living.
Oh, okay. I was like, this whole time, I was like, I thought you were talking about somebody who wasn't.
No, he really feels the living people that way.
Okay. So thanks for clarifying that. But see, that's interesting then, too. Because.
Like, no, I don't. And she said, I work in the, she worked at Brahms, and she was in the public, and she said, Mom, when I go home, I'm just drained. I said, I've heard a lot of people say that are empaths. I said, I have never had that issue. I guard, I guess.
Yeah.
I said, you need a crystal. You need to, you know, focus your energy on that and just know it works. I think
Right.
if you believe it, it's going to work. You're going to reflect that energy back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm just exhausted. I said, yep. She said, I don't have gifts. I said, no, you have a curse right at this point because you're not handling it very well.
Yeah.
But she has 5 kids. I mean, she does but chaos.
Right. Yeah, being an empath is really, really hard. So it can make your life like. And she has 5 kids. You said.
Yeah, 3 hers, 2
Oh my gosh, I would be so exhausted. I'm exhausted thinking about it. Oh my gosh.
I can get half a block from her house and I'm hearing, shut up. They're tuning you out. They have tuned you out for 2 years. The only one listens to you.
Oh, that's so true. That's probably so true. My sister has 5 girls in her house, and I don't know how she does it. I have just the 2, and I'm good. Huh?
That door, and they're like, "Grandma's here." It ceases. I mean, it's done. And I'm like, "What'd you do?" Because I'm going,
Grandma knows.
What'd you do? I told Mom no. Oh yeah? Tell Grandma no. I dare you. Of course, when I lived on the farm, I had that whip, and I'm like, okay, I dare you. Go ahead and tell me no. She would call me from Walmart. Mom, I can't get them to behave. They're embarrassing me. This is awful. All right,
yeah.
Right there. I'd walk in, walk behind them. They'd be walking down the aisle, turn around.
This stuff.
Now you're going with me. Let's go. They're too far away to do that now. They're in Oklahoma. But
oh no.
I can still call them and threaten them at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up, Adrienne. I do appreciate you jumping on here and joining me tonight. And I'm glad you were, able to come on. And congratulations on next weekend. I hope it goes well.
We will all see how it goes.
Everybody,
as much as I do.
Prayers for Adrienne. She hangs in there this next 8 days and gets her wedding going and all that good stuff happens to you. And enjoy the new house where you're at. I hope you have spooky stories for us in the future about, I know we didn't get to talk about here, but on the other shows that you do host, I'm sure we'll hear some stories. If you do want to follow Adrienne, I do have, obviously you can follow her on Things Network. And I do have the link to the Things of Colorado in the description. Also, please show your love here at Unveil Paranormal. I appreciate it. With that said, thank you, Adrienne, and thank you, everybody else. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, guys.